WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Dozens of fake 911 calls continued to tie up the Chickasaw County E911 Center. It started about 2 weeks ago and hasn't stopped.
Dispatchers believe the issue stems from old phones that still work, but they're not in service. They also say these types of calls are not new.
The phone never stops ringing at 911 centers because dispatchers are always answering emergencies. Here recently in Chickasaw County, the phones have been ringing even more than usual, but with non-emergencies. Dispatcher Renee Gann says these types of calls come in a pattern.
The first couple of days of spring break, the first week or so when school lets out for the summer, it definitely, you can tell. And then it'll taper off. But yeah, when you're talking about 30 phone calls in an hour, constantly, yeah, back to back.
And the issue is that it holds up other lines with real emergencies.
You never know with what's going to be on the next phone ring, what's going to be going on, you know, that you've really got to be paying attention to and deal with. And then here's this other phone ringing in the background, and you're like, well, is it real? Is it what is this?
Gann says it sounds like a child on the other end of these fake 911 calls, and some sound accidental, while others seem intentional. Dispatchers believe the issue stems from parents giving their children old phones that still work but aren't in service.
The parents are letting them play with, and they're not taking the batteries out, so they're still active. And though they are not under a service contract or anything like that, they still can call 911 no matter what button you push.
When these calls come in, the true number doesn't show up. Instead, it pops up as if it were a burner phone, and it pings off of the same 911 towers.
We've got to answer regardless. I mean, there's no, just because we can look at that phone and look up here and see the number that's coming in, and it's that same number, we still have to answer it because people depend on us for their life.
Gann says she believes these fake calls ring into other emergency centers, but says their 911 systems are more equipped to help curb the issue.
They have the capabilities to ping the location and come up with a generalized location. And you may know somebody in that area, and officer make you go talk to somebody, like, hey, this is going on, you know, where we don't have that capability. We're hoping to upgrade. Our county really needs it.
And Gann says she gets about 100 fake 911 calls each shift.
That's a lot. Dialing 911 when there's not an emergency, well, that's against the law. But those calls come in more than you might think. The recent incidents at Chickasaw County's 911 Center are probably from kids. Chief Deputy Keith Roberson says the person making the fake calls can be charged along with the person that owns the phone if they are aware that the calls are being made.
The person making the call can be charged, and also the person that has control of their phone and they know what that phone's being used for can be charged with it. The first offense is a misdemeanor, can get up to a year in the county jail. After that second offense, it's a felony and you get 3 years and up to $10,000 fine.
Roberson suggests giving children iPads or tablets rather than old cell phones to play with. Time now to turn things over to meteorologist Jacob Dickey. He joins us with a first look at our forecast.
We've been watching some showers and storms throughout the day. Part of a big upper level low with lots of tropical moisture. South looking very wet this evening right now. Some scattered showers and a few rumbles of thunder carrying through our area. Now we've got a batch of some heavy tropical downpours from Grenada up towards Coffeyville, Water Valley into Calhoun County. That'll make its way towards Pontotoc and New Albany. Other showers and storms off to the south here. Now, as you look ahead, the showers and storms will wrap up later this evening. We've got more on the way. I've got your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
When it comes to fighting fires, getting the right people and equipment to the scene quickly is vital, but that can be a challenge in many rural areas.
A new fire station in Winston County is helping meet that challenge. There, our Riley Livingston checked in with the crew. She joins us live in the studio with more. Riley?
Volunteer fire departments often have to cover a lot of ground with limited resources. But thanks to a new substation, a Winston County community's distance is shorter, and they hope response time will be quicker. Just a few months ago, the community of Beth Eden relied on one fire station. Now the Beth Eden Volunteer Fire Department has a new facility ready to get help where it's needed faster.
We have about 1,200 people that we are responsible for, and we didn't have a fire station close to them, so we built a substation on 25, and about 200 more people will have a fire station within 5 miles of their home, which would be a great asset for them.
And that shorter distance can make all the difference during a house fire.
If your fire burns for a long time, you lose about everything you have, so the sooner you can get there, the better possibility you have of protecting their lives and properties.
More fire stations can also help lower a district's fire rating, and that can save residents money.
The ratings are important because the insurance bureau comes out and rates us on our response time, all of our equipment, everything's up to date, and gives us a better rating, which then they turn around and lower people's homeowners insurance.
Of course, fire stations are only effective if you have firefighters to man them. And across the U.S., there is a shortage of volunteers. Fire Chief Randall Livingston says the new station is already bringing in some possible recruits.
We already have some younger guys over in this area that's interested in becoming firemen, and so we always need firemen. We need some young ones, too, to carry the load for this. Older ones, we can't do a lot of the heavy work that the young ones can.
This is only the beginning for the Beth Eden Volunteer Fire Department. Chief Livingston hopes to build 2 more substations to help the community.
4 County Electric Power Association's management and members gathered today for an annual meeting. The company shared last year's successes and plans for the coming year. Members had a chance to learn about programs and services. The big thing on the table was an update on rural internet. Marketing manager John Turner says 2 studies have been done, and while they want to do something, the price tag just may be too high.
We want to be a part of the solution. We just don't know that we necessarily need to be the solution. So we're looking at other vendors that we might be able to partner with to do it and what it might take for us to do it on our own. We're working towards something. We can't rush into it.
Turner says the company is working diligently to find a way to bring internet to 4 County's service area.
There was also another update at that meeting. Strong storms this past spring not only damaged homes and businesses, utility lines, power poles were left snapped and hanging in many places. It made for a busy few weeks for crews from 4 County Electric Power Association, and repair costs into the tens of thousands. Spokesman John Turner says the hardest hit area was Oktibbeha County. He says the company is waiting for FEMA to declare places like Craig Springs in Oktibbeha County an emergency, a federal disaster declaration to get reimbursed. If that doesn't happen, 4 County will be out the cost of the repairs.
Well, yesterday, you may remember we brought you the story of the Sugarlock Healthcare Center that burned back in May. Well, we have an update for you today. A spokesperson for the Greater Meridian Health Clinic, which runs the center there in Sugarlock, tells WCBI the center will temporarily be moving. The new location will be a block over in a now vacant church. Center staff members hope to start seeing patients again by the end of this month.
We are live in Tupelo. We will have the top 3 Elvis tribute artists. They're under one roof tonight. Lots of fun, music, and fashion. Don't go away. You want to see this coming up on WCBI News.
Everyone, Elvis fans are at the Bancorp South Arena for a special treat as part of Tupelo's Elvis Festival.
Our Allie Martin is there also. He joins us now live with more. Allie.
We are here at the Bancorp South Arena. This is the free concert that was supposed to be across the street at Fair Park. We have the top 3 Elvis tribute artists tonight here at the Bancorp South Arena. With me is Tom Brown. You're the MC of the Elvis Fest. Tom, this is a big, big weekend for us.
It is a big weekend. 21st Tupelo Elvis Festival tonight. The 3-2-1 concert. These are the guys that came in 3rd, 2nd, and 1st at the Ultimate in Memphis last year. So the world champion Ben Thompson is here. Diogo Light is here, Cody Daneth is here, and they've all won Tupelo also.
That's right. These guys are really good. You've got your sparkly jacket on. Is that Lansky's?
That's a Lansky sparkly jacket and my ascot. I'm ready to, you know, when you're on stage and guys dressed like Elvis, you have to kind of bump it up a little bit.
You got to bring it up a few notches. Now, you have an event tomorrow called Conversations. Tell us what that's about.
Right.
That's really interesting.
At the Lyric Theater, 2 o'clock, the original home of the Tupelo Elvis Festival, the Lyric Theater, and where Elvis used to go watch movies back in the day. We've got an incredible group of people that I'm going to be interviewing talking about Elvis. Among them, Marion Koch, who was Elvis's personal nurse, worked at Baptist Hospital. Lowell Hayes, his jeweler, that helped design the TCB lightning bolt. 3 guys that worked with Elvis: Dick Grobe, Sam Thompson, and Charles Stone. They're going to tell stories about what it was like on the road with Elvis, to live at Graceland and to kind of be around him and to kind of be in that bubble of Elvis world.
Dick Grobe has some really interesting stories. He was head of Elvis's security, and he just says the ladies liked Elvis and their fingernails. They would try to grab Elvis and leave scratch marks on him. So it's just one of those things that you and I don't have to worry about, but Elvis had to worry about.
Not at all. That's why I love to walk around with Dick Grobe and pretend I'm Elvis and let him walk in front of me and block people. You know.
Very good. All right. Well, you can still come out tonight for the concert, the 321 concert.
Free.
Lots of events. Free concert tonight. Go to TupeloElvisFestival.com. For now, we're in Tupelo. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Well, there may not be any Kentucky rain, but we've got some rain in Mississippi and Alabama out there. Showers continuing to push on through. Can't rule out a strong storm over the next couple of days. I've got all of the details you need to know coming up after the break.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Getting a view on our Alpha Insurance Skycam right now in downtown Louisville, Mississippi. Some rain coming on in from the south there. Temperatures at 79. Dew points, of course, very soupy and tropical feeling out there. 75 is what the dew point is in Louisville. Now, we're a little warmer in the 80s in some spots here where we had some sunshine. Cooler to the north. They stayed cloudy through the day. Generally, those 70s and 80s will slide on down through the night with the chance for some scattered showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder. There's a batch of showers coming into Winston County there, as well as perhaps into Wcbi County. Another batch we're keeping our eyes on moving to the north and west of Houston. We'll see the chance for some scattered showers and storms over the next few hours here. Really, I think by the time we get to the nighttime hours after 11 o'clock, the odds of seeing a storm are low. But we'll keep it there just in case someone hears a rumble of thunder or perhaps gets an isolated shower. Going for those upper 60s and lower 70s out there. Down to 70 in Columbus, Starkville, and West Point. 68 in Eupora, 69 in Monona overnight tonight. As we look at Futurecast here, notice much of the night is looking dry. Just a few spot showers here and there. I do think we start the day dry on Friday, but I won't rule out an isolated shower. Something we do want to talk about real quick is the chance for any of these storms to be a little stronger in nature through maybe the next few hours tonight, as well as on Friday afternoon and evening, and even into Saturday afternoon and evening. Could see a strong gust of wind in some spots here. Maybe a little bit of hail, not really concerned about that. We'll have to watch the threat here for maybe an isolated tornado in a spot or two. There's enough wind energy in the atmosphere where that's a potential. Some flash flooding, though, could be a possibility with the heavy rain that we've seen already. Now, as we look through the day planner here on Friday, temperatures are climbing into the 80s for all of us. The best chance for some scattered storms are in the afternoon and evening hours, up to 84 in Columbus, 84 in Tupelo, 85 in Aliceville. We'll hit 86 in Macon for our afternoon high. Here's what Futurecast says here. Starting dry in the morning, a few showers out there through the late morning hours. Into the afternoon, I think we'll see some showers and storms bubble up with the heating of the day if we can get a little sunshine in there. And again, one of those could be maybe stronger in nature. We'll keep our eyes on things. I'm not overly concerned, just keeping our eyes. And as we get into Friday evening, Futurecast suggests some more pop-up showers and storms. But once the sun sets again Friday night, that tends to take away the energy that we get, and we'll see that chance diminish for those stronger storms. Now, here's the temperature trend. We're staying low here, below average. That's a nice thing to see in the month of June here. 80s all the way through. One of the big things is because all of the rain that we expect through Monday could see another 1 to 2 inches of rain with locally higher amounts on top of the inch or two we saw today. Things will dry out as we head into Monday afternoon and evening. That low pressure will get cooked off to the east with the cold front coming through next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, looking quite nice.
Mississippi State preparing to have a super time at the New Dude this weekend. More on the matchup in Starkville coming up next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
For the first time since 2016, the Diamond Dogs will be back at the New Dude for an NCAA Super Regional. State will be hosting a best-of-3 series against the West Coast foe Stanford. The Bulldogs have plenty of experience advancing to the College World Series. But how about the Cardinal? Last time they saw a Super Regional was 5 years ago against Vanderbilt. They didn't end up advancing, but Ethan Small knows to get to this point, Stanford must be pretty good.
Of course, I guess Pac-12 baseball, West Coast baseball has the reputation of being small ball teams. But if they can bang, let them come on and try to do it, I guess, you know. But I'm sure they're a great team. You know, they made it this far. Everybody who has is definitely a great team, and we're just excited for the atmosphere and the tremendous competition we're going to face with them.
Everyone wants their senior year to be, you know, your last home game to be a super regional. Absolutely. But yeah, this will be the last weekend that I get to run out in this field and play. It's going to be bittersweet, but I hope it's a lot sweeter.
You know, you play in Omaha, and Omaha has a lot of people, but they're not all for you. And so when you play here, man, it feels like an Omaha type of crowd, but they're all for you, or everybody but about 50 people. So it helps our ball club. I think it puts pressure on the opponent, but it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play in front of our fans.
Over the course of the past 3 days, Mississippi State saw 11 of its players get selected in the MLB draft. Not only did State have the third most drafted class in the country, but it tied a program record. Head coach Chris Lemonis talked about what it was like watching his guys come off the board.
Jake Mangum kind of veered off, and he actually went into my office because he's the only one with the MLB draft on, so he could watch his name being called. So it's pretty cool for him. And Ethan Small the other night, that's just awesome, awesome for him. And it's all the guys I've had, even my guys back in Indiana, I'm watching and seeing them get drafted and realize their dreams. It's a lot of fun as a coach.
Chris Lemonis' former team at Indiana followed the Bulldogs with 10 players selected in the MLB draft. While State gets to stay closer to home, the Rebels will have to hit the road. Luckily for Ole Miss, the team isn't traveling to unfamiliar territory. For the second time this season, Ole Miss and Arkansas will meet again in Fayetteville. The Rebels taking that series to the Hogs 2-1. And interestingly enough, the Ole Miss hasn't lost a series to the Hogs since 2015. The Rebels saying that definitely gives them confidence heading into the weekend.
I'm not really sure what it is, but I don't know. It's a good place for us, though. We're locked into every pitch. We love the atmosphere there. We love everybody against us, and I think we come together and we just play well.
I think it's kind of cool that we get to play a SEC West Division team, and if we go out there, we know there's definitely going to be a huge crowd. We're going to have a lot of Ole Miss fans there, but I know there's certainly going to be a lot of Razorbacks fans there. But it's definitely going to be an intense environment to play in.
The entire team, the 2019 team, deserves this, and obviously. But I think for me personally, it's fitting, for the guys that were here last year. That they played so well in the regional, and get back to a super regional, and hopefully have success this weekend.
And we'll have coverage from Fayetteville and also coming from Starkville. So to stay up to date with all of the latest and make sure you know what is happening with your Rebels and your Diamond Dogs, check with us back here through the weekend. That's it for sports. The last look at your forecast is after the break. Stay with us.
National Weather Service has let us know they're watching a storm near Grenada with a little bit of rotation in there, just with the wind energy in the atmosphere. That's a possibility. And as we look at the next several days, too, on Friday and Saturday, can't rule out a chance for a stronger storm, too. It's just the way the system's working. A lot of tropical moisture, a little bit of wind energy in the atmosphere. You think back to some of those remnant tropical systems that have come through. We've seen little spin-ups here and there, so we're going to keep our eyes on things for you and keep you informed here behind the scenes.
All right.
We'll prepare for more rain.
Yeah, a lot more. So.
All right, thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.